A B C D E F G H A B C D E A B C D E F G H I J K L A B C D E F G H I J K L A B C D.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to the Horror Films podcast.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what the hell are you talking about? Okay, you were referencing the thing, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, you had that one planned. You were like ready for that.
I just came up with that one on the spot, actually.
Wow. Okay.
I'm Jules from the channel The Worst Man. This is Horror Films. Who else is here?
Isn't
you go.
Okay, yeah, no, I was like, I was waiting for you.
Lucasfilms from Lucasfilms.
Yep.
And it is
Normally I'm last, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah, okay. It's sorry, yeah. And it is I, Timmy from Tim Jong-un Productions, the man himself, yeah. So,
yes.
Yeah. So, how are we all today?
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very
Long
cold.
week.
I'm freezing.
Yeah, as you guys know, I was sick for like fucking forever.
Yeah.
Because the last time we tried to record this episode of the podcast, I sounded like a lung cancer survivor, so I was like...
Sounded like a chain smoker.
Yeah, I sounded like a chain smoker, and I would prefer to have a voice, you know, instead of a silent voice reference. So, yeah, we pushed this back a little bit, but yeah. And to compensate for that fact,
it was a Titanic
we're going to talk about... Yeah, it was a Titanic failure. We're going to talk about a whole buttload of movies. We decided to... skip movie news for this episode because there's just a crap ton of movies to talk about, too many movies, but we decided to get through all of them. I've seen 3/4 of them, and I think Jules has also seen only 3/4 of them. Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Beau's Afraid?
One of them.
And I have seen all of them.
Yeah, so this is a weird change of pace where I haven't seen all the movies of recent wise, but you know, we can get through all of them. So,
yeah.
Which one do we want to talk about first?
With?
We can just roll a die and see which
talk about the
one.
that me and Luka literally just watched.
Oh, Evil Dead Rise? Yeah, sure. I guess we could talk about that one first.
Yeah, I guess that's a good segue from last episode, just to quickly.
Oh yeah,
last
episode.
Yeah, we can just. Yeah, we could just pretend that this is part of that episode and just say we accomplished the thing that we said we were going to accomplish. So yeah. What did you guys think of Evil Dead Rise?
Awesome.
Very groovy.
Yes.
You guys really liked it. I'm genuinely surprised. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it.
I don't think I liked it as much as Luka. I think I'm pretty much split down the middle of your guys' ratings.
Oh, okay.
You see, how you were talking about Hellraiser is how I like this movie.
Yeah, that seems like what's happening right now, because like this
is what I think about when I'm like, oh, modern horror movie.
Yeah, this is your Hellraiser essentially.
Yeah, that I genuinely care about. Yeah, this is that movie for me.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. In that sense, that makes sense. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, obviously, I didn't like it nearly as much as you. I mean, I'm glad you brought up the Hellraiser thing because I did see a lot of parallels between this and Hellraiser, way more than the shitty remake. In terms of not just like the kills themselves, but also like, you know, the way they go about like creating characters and like intertwining like real life, you know, family drama and shit like that, and like intertwining that with like the horror and the gore and stuff like that. I still think Hellraiser did it better than this film, but we don't have to like keep comparisons.
Nah.
Okay. Well, yeah, well, either way, yeah, I enjoyed it. I still personally well, okay, here's what I'll say. I think this does a better job of being a quote serious Evil Dead movie than the remake did. Like Like the remake is just bad. Like I couldn't like discern what tone it was going for. This one was like much more clear in terms of like what it's trying to be. It still had like stupid Evil Dead-isms, you know, like there were some like wacky and goofy moments that I felt didn't really mesh with like the rest of the tone, because the rest of the tone is like super serious, because they actually like want you to care about the characters. And for the most part, I cared about like pretty much all the characters, you know. I wasn't like super invested in their like their history or their lore, because I'm gonna be honest, I was like bored for the first like 20 to 30 minutes. I was like, oh my fucking god, like I don't give a shit. Just like get to the horror shit already. And once the horror shit happens, like that's when it gets fun, that's when it picks up. But yeah, like that first 20 to 30 minutes was so boring and it was so cliche. I just like I did not care about anything that was going on. Like I like Alyssa Sutherland's performance, like
Sounds like Hellraiser 2022 in here.
Yeah,
sure, yeah.
sounds very similar.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. But I actually like, super cared about like the characters in Hellraiser compared to this one. So, but I don't know. Like, I mean, still, this had a lot of great performances in it, though. Like Alyssa Sutherland's performance was like
Definitely.
really fucking awesome. She was like I
Right,
really liked, yeah, I really liked those those moments where like the characters like look through the peephole. And you can only see what's like the horror and gore through like that perspective, when like Alyssa Sutherland's like killing all those people and stuff like that, and you don't actually see the
Yeah,
violence, but like you can
it's
actually like
sick.
but you can hear it, and like that was awesome. I really liked shit like that. So but I'll stop right there. What did you guys think? So
I mean, I think it's definitely like a substantial improvement on the 2013 one. I like I think the way they changed it up, like I was kind of a bit unsure at first, but then it worked well in this little kind of creepy apartment, little raid setting. Yeah, set in like a David Fincher world where everything's raining and miserable.
it's kind of like Panic Room.
And yeah, actually,
Yeah.
yeah. I actually cared about the characters. I thought they were all kind of like distinct enough and like weren't like typical like horror movie-ish characters that I just kind of find like annoying. Except
Some
for
of them
maybe
were
the,
kind of
yeah.
yeah, except for maybe the sister. I didn't really like her. The one who was like, I'm going to join the protest tomorrow.
I didn't like
I
the
thought she was
fucking
kind of
like
annoying.
I didn't like the fucking dipshit DJ guy. He's like he
The
is so
the DJ
stupid.
brother. Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
he's so
Nah.
fucking stupid.
I
I
thought
was
he was
like
cool.
he was so like unnecessarily stupid. Like I get this is a horror movie, but it's like you are so dumb. Like I was getting frustrated with him. So yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with all Evil
What?
Dead movies. They just pull out the book and start reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when it says don't read.
I liked how they actually did like the summoning of it, because like in the other Evil Dead movies, it's like it's kind of in their control. It's like, okay, it literally says don't read and then you still fucking read it. But this one they were like, you know,
No, the
he was just
remake
kinda
did
curious
it.
and he puts it on the
The remake's the only one that did it. Like that's why I can't believe it in the remake, because there are signs that scream "Don't read this book," but then this dipshit reads it anyway. I'm like, what? Like, do you not know how to read? So-
In this one, it was like kind of out of his control because he was just playing like a weird vinyl that he found, and then it kind of just spun out of control. And like, yeah, obviously it had that haunted demonite magic to it, and yeah. But yeah, I thought this movie was sick. Like, I really thought it was.
Did you
awesome.
guys at
I
least
had a
like?
ton of fun with
Was it just me? But I felt like the way they like went about like finding the Book of the Dead was just so stupid. Like, there's an earthquake, and then like, oh, they just happen to magically find upon like a vault containing like all this evil shit. I was like, oh, come on, like seriously? Like, it's one thing to just like find this shit in like the basement of a cabin, but then it's another to cause an earthquake and shatter like the floor behind, like below you, to like find the Book of the
find
Dead
it
stuff.
because of the earthquake. So there's just a regular.
It's not like the book
normal
causes the
earthquake.
earthquake.
Yeah,
I guess so.
yeah.
I don't. I just found that a bit unbelievable. Yeah.
I mean, if anything, it's more cliche to just find this shit in a random cabin in a basement, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess so. Yeah.
like here, there's like kind of like some cool like stuff going on, and like the building like has like a fun backstory to it, and like
Yeah, like it was an old
Yeah.
bank, so it's like, oh yeah, there would be like vaults and stuff in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think they give. It
I mean,
enough
yeah, I
explanation.
think the actual apartment itself, I was kind of afraid that it was going to be like a gimmick type thing, or it's like, oh, like, you know, it's just an apartment this time, but it's still like Evil Dead shit. But they actually do a lot with the setting, to make it distinct.
really
When they like filled the elevator with like blood or whatever, like when they're
Yeah.
trying to escape.
Yeah, it really had their shining.
Shining.
Yeah, it was like a shining moment. Yeah, and like I said about like the
Yeah.
people thing too. Like, and when like the fucking, I really loved like the last like 45 minutes of this movie when like all the Deadites like combined into this fucking like amalgamation like, you know, freak thing or whatever. It was like, oh my god, like I love this so much. Yeah.
What I liked about the movie is like you kind of like, I think it does a good job of making you care for the characters, but you kind of don't have to read into it. You can just watch it as like, oh, this is just a cool, sick horror movie with a lot of shit. But there is actually like things to read into the movie if you want to, and that's what I really liked about it. Like I really liked like the single mother like kind of themes they had going on there, and like how that transports to Beth and like her little baby and got something rumbling in the tummy, you know. And like, yeah, I really liked how they just made like a cool, sick horror movie for entertainment, but like it kind of like, I think that's because I was the like one that still kind of liked Evil Dead 2013, and that was like a movie that I just liked just solely because of the vibes. And then those like kind of same like really gore heavy like gnarly vibes come back in this film, but then there's also a lot of other things to appreciate.
Yeah, there's actual
about it
like
that just made me
subtext and
really,
stuff. Yeah.
really like it. Yeah, there's like lots of cool subtext, like with the single mother allegory and like this family dynamic that they have.
Yeah, and like
and yeah, it's a
yeah,
ton of
that's
fun.
why like that's why I act like this is immediately like a massive improvement upon the remake, because the remake like expected me to give a shit about the characters, but they didn't do anything to like get me to care about the characters. This one, like, yeah, like for me, like the first 20 to 30 minutes were boring, but like they at least like,
How are they boring? There's a cool like thing at the cabin. Like,
I did not care for that. I did
was
not
sick.
care for like because it doesn't matter. It's just like set
Wow.
dressing. It's just like, well, you know, this is Evil Dead. We got to get a kill in, you know, before like the real story happens. So in that sense, it's just, it doesn't matter. It's just pointless, you know, like I mean, if it's fun for you, it's fun, and it is fun, but it's just like it just doesn't mean anything. It's just like extra set dressing. And like, you know, like even though I wasn't like the most heavily invested in the actual like story, like they did do a decent job like setting up the characters. Like I liked the dynamic between Alyssa Sutherland and her sister, whatever her name was, Beth, I think it was. Yeah, Beth. Like, and I think that's what makes, like, because once Alyssa Sutherland actually turns into a Deadite, they actually make it kind of scary. Like, it, like her getting, like, strangulated by, like, the wires in the theater. It reminded me of, the first Evil Dead when, the one girl, like, gets, like, strangled by, like, and, like, raped by, like, the trees and shit like that. It kind of reminded me of that scene. Obviously more tastefully done. I mean,
Yeah,
as
it was
taste.
like a different rendition of.
Yeah, as tastefully as you can make something like that be. And I really liked her, you know, I liked how kind of manipulative that she, like, becomes, like, as this, like, Deadite, you know, where it's, like, all the lines that she said were really, really dope. Like, she was like, oh, mommy's not here anymore. She's, like, being fed to the maggots or something like that.
Mommy's with the maggots.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, this is, like, I think at that point, once, like, Alyssa Sutherland, like, just completely goes, like batshit crazy, I was like, okay, I'm fully invested in now. Like, I can get behind this, so, yeah. Yeah, it's just basically the remake if it was a good movie. So, like, that's the best way to describe it for me. So,
what I liked about it was like that it managed to like still capture like the charm of Evil Dead, because I actually think that yes, this is definitely going for a more serious tone, but there is a lot of like comedy and humor to it, which I really like.
Yeah,
I think it
but
was
my
funny.
issue.
There's like a few chuckle moments, but I think what I like about it, like it still manages to like keep the charm and like pay homage to like the original trilogy, but also like be very much its own thing. Like specifically in like the presentation and like the type of things it's going for and like the characters and stuff. Like the film is very much like it has its own like visual style and elements to it. Like it definitely picks up some of the pieces that Raimi planted, but yeah, like the visual style in this film was like something of its own, and that's what I really liked about it as well. Like it looks great. Like it is. There's so many creative like ways of showing what happens, and like I said, the gore is visceral. It is like really gets you going. It's like yeah, blood pumping stuff.
But I do agree that I felt like the Sam Raimi isms in this one was like better integrated than the remake. Like when the remake did it, it just like was completely like it just didn't fit what was happening in the film. But this one, like I had like the Sam Raimi isms actually like complemented the director's own style. You know, like when they did the shaky cam like
Yeah.
POV shot. You know, like especially like the one like like as like the demon is like going through the apartment and shit like that, and eventually like it runs into Alyssa Sutherland as she's like coming down the elevator and stuff like that. Like I think like this one like incorporates the Sam Raimi isms like much better than like the remake did. Like I was like fully invested from like a directorial style as well. Like yeah, because I do think like this is definitely well shot, and I think this is like well directed, much better directed than the remake. So yeah, like on a technical level, yeah, there's like really a lot to
Yeah.
appreciate. So
Yeah, it's really
yeah,
cool.
Jules, do you have anything to say? We've been talking a lot, and we want you to speak your mind
Yeah.
on it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought there was a one scene that actually really grossed me out, both me and Luca.
Oh really?
Which was the bit where the thing like kind of pierced through her skin.
Oh, when
I
she's
thought was,
eating
like,
the
She's
glass.
eating
Yeah,
the
yeah,
wine
that was.
glass.
Yeah, and I was like, oh god, like actually.
How did they pull that off?
I
Because
should
it didn't
look
look
away
like
there.
CG. Like,
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Speaking of, like, the effects in this movie are like great. Like they're so good.
they are.
Like,
They are.
yeah,
Really good.
Like yeah, there's a lot of great.
yeah, some of the
practical
things
stuff.
that happen effect wise, I was like, I want to know how they pulled that off. Like, I'm still thinking about that like glass eating
Yeah.
scene. It's like because that didn't look like it was like computer effects in any way. So
No, and like the eye when like there's like the close up of like the fucking like what was that thing like an. I'm gonna call it a nail gun, but I don't even really know what it is.
what are
It's
you
like a
talking
drill
about? I don't
thing.
remember
Like,
this.
The scene where like she grabs like the drill and is
Oh,
like, she, like,
yeah,
puts
yeah,
it,
yeah.
like,
It looked like a power
against
tool of some sort.
the
Yeah.
sister's like eye. Yeah, like
Yeah.
oh my goodness. Like I know it doesn't even pierce the eye, but
It
like
was
just
super
like those
close,
blades
yeah.
like whirring like right next to it. Yeah,
It's like a Mission
oh my
Impossible
goodness.
2 thing
Yeah,
where
there's a
it's
lot of,
like they had a real knife that like was just 2 inches away from stabbing Tom Cruise's eye or whatever. So
Yeah,
Oh,
look like some proper gnarly stuff.
very
Yeah.
gnarly.
Yeah. But yeah, we should probably move on because we're doing like rapid fire.
I mean, if you have
so
anything
final
more
thoughts
dying to say,
quickly.
yeah, please, like,
Yeah.
yeah, Jules or Luca about Evil Dead Rise, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got much more to say. It was just like really pretty good.
Yeah, just like a fun little movie.
I'm
I
glad
liked it a
this
lot.
wasn't a massive piece of shit. Like, I'm glad I wasn't, like, as mad watching
Yeah.
this as I was the remake. The remake was legitimately not fun to watch. I was like, oh my god. Like, this one was actually fun. So, yeah. I guess if you have nothing else to say, 6 out of 10. It was solid, so.
8 out
Yeah,
of 10.
I'll give this one a solid 7. I liked it.
Nice.
Cool.
So, I mean, yeah, overall, it was a good movie. Just like, yeah, we just seem to have different attachments to how much we liked it. I'm genuinely surprised, like Luca, that you liked this more than the original Evil Dead, because I still think, like, even though like I think this is like technically much better made.
This is so much sicker than
the original
Evil Dead.
Yeah, but I just feel like there's a lot
awesome.
more to appreciate about the original. But no, we're not going to talk about that. We have other things to discuss.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Okay. Next thing. What do we want to talk about next? Suzume?
Yeah, okay, we can do Suzume.
Okay.
Where about you guys talk about Beau is Afraid first, because I haven't seen it yet.
I'm guessing you don't want to hear any spoilers, right?
Yes, no, do not spoil it, please.
Okay, so basically,
I feel like
the end... no, I'm just kidding.
I feel like it's hard to talk about this movie like without spoiling, though, because it's like the whole, like, everything that I have to say about the film like has to do with I guess I can try my best and like talk about what I liked and didn't like about the movie without spoiling.
I can do it without
Okay,
spoilers.
yeah, let's give it a shot. Okay. So yeah, Beau is Afraid, the new Ari Aster, the new joint from him, same guy who made Midsommar and Hereditary. This one is more of like a nightmare horror comedy type of thing. He described it as Jewish Lord of the Rings, which I guess fair or something. I don't know.
I did not know what the fuck he meant by that when watching this movie.
I mean, I guess he was just...
I mean, he described the Wizard of Oz for perverts. I didn't know what that meant, but somehow so.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like Lord of the Rings in the sense that it's like an epic sort of thing, because it's like this massive, like, apparently had like a $45 million budget to make this movie. It's fucking 3 hours long and shit, which I will just say, as someone who did like the movie, the film did not need to be 3 hours long. Like, it was,
not at all.
It was 3 hours for literally no reason other than just Ari Aster wanted that to happen. So,
yeah.
Without spoiling anything, I was super invested in the first act. I was really, really bored in the second act. And then I was super invested again in the third act. So it was like...
Same. That's like pretty much me as well.
Yeah, because like because I feel like, okay, even...
Okay, wait, no. I actually have a slightly different...
Okay, all right. Yeah, go ahead.
Mia was like super invested the first act. Like kind of weirded out and like was confused by the... how do I say it? The house thing? You know,
you
get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
wait, hold on.
Kind of like
we have to
losing interest.
We have to establish what is considered the acts, because when I was thinking the first act, I was thinking the first act as in stuff to do with
before he goes to the house.
Okay, because I was thinking like the first act being the apartment and the house stuff, and then the second act being the forest part, and then the third act being the big house part.
Okay.
Because that's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah. So
okay. So Mia was like, I like the apartment stuff.
Okay.
I was kind of enjoying the house stuff, but like I was like, And then the forest stuff, I got kind of bored.
I was so bored, yeah. So.
Big house, I was like, okay, this is getting sick again. And then boat, I was like, what the fuck? I'm really not into this. That was like my ride with this movie. That was like me.
Yeah, it was. This movie is the perfect embodiment of a rocky road. Like there's going to be smooth sailings at some points, but then other points you're just gonna have to like sit there and go, oh my god. Like the forest part in particular, I was like genuinely trying to stay awake. I was getting I was getting so tired. I was
and there's like awesome moments in that part, but like I just couldn't connect.
No, there were a lot of like real
in the grandest scheme of the film.
Yeah, like I get the point of that forest part, and I liked a lot of like the technical aspects of the forest parts, but oh my god, like I was just so out of it at that point. I was like, just get on with it already. And like for the boat part, I mean I kind of liked that. I was kind of into that. It was
okay, wait, let me clarify. I like the fuck.
Yeah, see, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to talk movie without spoiling.
That wasn't the end boat stuff. You know?
Oh, okay.
I like the boat stuff that wasn't the
See, I liked. I mean, yeah, I will agree. Like the start of like if the movie just had ended right before that other part with the boat like happened, like if it just like ended,
Yeah.
like that would actually been a satisfying ending. Like I understand what they were going for with that second part of the boat part. And I actually kind of liked it conceptually. Like, it just did go on for just way too fucking long, yeah.
There was just a lot of stuff in this movie. Like, this movie was just a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of it, and most of it, is, like, really good. But there's also a lot of it that's holding it back and, like, really, like, over.
See, I thought, like, the film, like...
And it's just a bit too weird and confusing.
I didn't think it was confusing. I just thought it took forever to just, like, communicate, like, a point that I thought it was trying to communicate. Because, like, the whole premise is that, like Joaquin Phoenix, like, plays, like, a really, like, a weirdo who's, like, overwhelmed by like anxiety and like he's like and paranoia and stuff like that, and a lot of like that anxiety and paranoia is because of how like he was just essentially treated like shit by his mom. So it's like I understood what the film was going for. It was kind of like you could honestly say this is like Southland Tales but not shit. Kind of, because like the film kind of reminded me of Southland Tales.
It did not remind me.
You didn't
of
think so? I thought like in terms of like the wacky tone, like it was. This is essentially what Southland Tales like pretended it was, like what it thought it was, because this film was also being like, whoa, like crazy shit, first this happens and then this happens and this. It kind of reminded me of Southland Tales. But like not bad, obviously. But yeah, but just I really liked that apartment stuff. Like visually, I liked what was happening, but I also like kind of like it was super uncomfortable, but it was also kind of funny at the same time. And I quite liked the house stuff, if I'm being honest. Like that's the stuff with like, and I'm not spoiling anything. This is literally in the trailer. Like the stuff with Nathan Lane and like Amy Ryan, like when they're essentially like taking care of Beau, essentially. Like I quite liked that scene a lot. It's only just when he leaves the house for reasons I'm not going to get into, that I was like, okay, the movie's like kind of losing me for a little bit. But then when they get back to like the big house, I really quite liked that argument. Without spoiling anything, it kind of reminded me of like, Hereditary. Like it was like it very much like oozed like Hereditary with that like confrontation between Beau and the other person. And yeah, but then the boat scene happens, and then I was like, oh my god, like I get it. So it's a rocky road. Like it had my interest, but then it didn't, and then it had it again, and then it didn't, and then it had it, and then it didn't again. So yeah,
I just think like I love Hereditary and Midsommar so much. So like this film just felt a bit underwhelming to me in that regard, because like
it was trying to do a lot. Yeah.
Very large shoes to fill.
Yeah, very large shoes to fill. Yeah, you're right. It's like trying to top those movies was going to be an insane feat.
Yeah, and I think what's weird is that like it's not like I'm against like long run times, because Midsommar is also like really long, but like but I was super into everything that was happening in Midsommar. But with this one, I was just like at most it had like 50% of my attention like throughout the whole way through.
Like Midsommar and Hereditary like feel like they still have like weird and surreal elements to them, but they feel like they're just going for one very clear and distinct idea. And while this film kind of has that, I just think it's all over the place and like how it's trying to convey this idea. And there is like a lot of like besides like the main thing the film is going for, I feel like there's also a lot of other shit that the film's trying to say, and it just feels all over the place and stuff.
Do you think this is like a classic case of like a director having like too much control, like too much power, too much like autonomy or whatever? Because like
I mean, but his other films very much feel like very him as well. Like this still feels like an Ari Aster film. I just think it was one that I couldn't connect to. Because I can still see a lot of other people really enjoying this film. Like I can still see a lot of other people loving it.
Yeah, and it's like not like it's like poorly made or anything. Like this is still a really well made film. Like Joaquin Phoenix was awesome, and and I like how it was shot and stuff, and like even the parts that were super super boring, like they were still like well made. Like I wanted to really love the forest bit. I really really wanted to, but it was hard for me to appreciate, like, I mean, I appreciate the technical aspects because I liked a lot of like weird imagery and like surrealism that they were going for with that, but it was just hard for me to give a shit, you know? So
yeah, I get what you
yeah.
mean. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's pretty close to how I felt about
yeah,
it too.
Jules, when you actually see I'm happy to talk about this movie again when you finally see it, so we can actually, because like I feel like I can't fully communicate.
Oh yeah, we'll have a little
because
discussion.
Yeah, you're probably wondering like what the fuck.
Yeah, because you probably have no idea what the hell what's going on. Yeah.
It's okay. I chewed you guys out a little bit. So
okay,
I didn't
that's
hear
good.
much,
That's
but
good.
I heard your thoughts.
Yeah, let us know what you think. What
Yeah.
let's have a repeat discussion about this, but like finally get into spoilers when you finally see it, Jules, because I feel like I can't fully communicate my points without spoiling the movie. Like I have to spoil what happens so that I can like get into the nitty gritty. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I might not see it for a while because the fucking rating system in Australia sucks.
don't like kids your days like try to sneak into like R-rated movies anyway? I'm so confused. Like why? Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could tell the story, Jules. You could tell the story.
What I told you just earlier,
Yeah.
Luka?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my friend, a guy I know from my theater class, he snuck into Evil Dead Rise and then got kicked out after 20 minutes.
What? How?
I don't know. Maybe the cinema has cameras inside, or maybe just someone realized, like, hey, wait a minute, what that kid didn't look.
Why do Australian movie theaters give this much a shit about, like, what? I'm so confused.
It's
like,
crazy.
if you want to watch Beau is Afraid, then they should just let you watch Beau is Afraid. I'm so confused right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to contribute to the low box office sum. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to help
Oh, is
out.
the film not doing well?
Oh no, it's bombing like terribly.
Oh,
but
fuck.
to be expected. Like that's to be
I already know
expected.
enough about the film to know that there's not enough of an audience for this thing
Yeah,
to
because
make
like
money.
yeah, like already like you're scaring so many people by making this 3-hour ass long movie. But then also on top of the fact it's like it's not based on like some superhero or like IP or whatever. It's an original idea, and then on top of that, it's like a bunch of weird shit. So it's like
into like Ari Aster though. So like
But that's like Hereditary and stuff. Like,
yeah, because
Yeah,
that's
I
because they were marketing.
Midsommar put a lot of people off anyway. So
Yeah, because like
do you think they'd be able to survive this?
a lot of people were hyped for Hereditary just purely because of the marketing, because like the marketing was just like spamming like a bunch of like bullshit quotes like, oh my god, the next Exorcist, it's as scary as The Exorcist, and people went to go see that, but they were pissed off because they were like, I thought I went to go see a horror movie, not some fucking family drama about bullshit, you know? Like, so yeah, like, and this is a movie clearly not made for like audiences in mind. This isn't like an Everything Everywhere All at Once type of situation where like some people go see it and then like, you know, there's like a word of mouth sort of thing. Like this is just like even like art house indie like pretentious douchebags like are divided on whether or not they like like us on whether or not they like it. Yeah. So
Oh yeah, that was a funny thing that happened in Australian cinemas once. That there was I think it was a cinema in New South Wales played the trailer for Hereditary before a children's film.
What
funny.
film?
I think it may have been like.
It must have been in 2018.
Despicable Me 3.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. So you can watch trailers. Babies can watch trailers, but they can't watch horror movies.
That wasn't meant to happen.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, okay, yeah. So
We should probably move on though.
yeah, so I mean, there isn't much else to say anyway without going
Without
into
spoilers,
spoilers.
yeah.
So
Yeah, just like overall thoughts. It's a good movie. It's a really well made movie. A lot of it I really like, but overall as a full package, it just like I like it, but there is lots of elements that are like slow and sloggy and just elements that kind of drag it down for me.
Yeah,
Not
Jules,
nearly
don't
as great as like Midsommar or Hereditary in my
yeah, I was
opinion.
gonna say like Jules, don't expect like something like Hereditary or Midsommar. Like this is a completely different experience.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, so
I could already gather that on the trailer.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But good movie, kind of, yes.
yeah.
Good
Well, like I said,
overall.
we'll come back to this movie once Jules has seen it, so we can have a proper spoiler discussion. But yeah, I gave this a 7 the first time, but then like the more I thought about it and the more from this discussion, I was like, yeah, maybe I didn't like it as much as I thought. So I'm dropping it down to a 6 out of 10. So yeah.
Yeah, for me it's a 6 as well. Like,
And
Yeah.
Jules will hear his rating later. So
I am.
Yeah, Jules, what do you give
I'm
it?
undecided. Probably like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay.
nice. So
Yeah, so we're all equal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Suzume.
yeah,
Let's go.
Suzume,
Let's
fucking
do it.
finally. Okay, yeah. So now we talk about something actually good. So Suzume, this is the new.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is the new Makoto Shinkai film. And for anyone who has been, following me knows that this has been one of my most anticipated movies ever. I was hyped. I saw it on opening night, and yeah, as expected, I fucking loved it. I thought this was awesome. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I'll just say up front now that I don't think this is as good as Your Name and Weathering with You. I still prefer those films over this one, but I've been thinking a lot about what's been happening in this film, and like I already want to see it again. I already want to like revisit it and like think about like now that I know what to expect, because I wasn't sure what to expect with this film, because like Shinkai kept talking about how like this is like, oh, this is going to be so different from my previous films, but it really wasn't. Like there was, I mean,
It's really
Yeah,
not.
it's
no,
really
it
not.
really
Like there was
isn't.
there was still a lot of Shinkai-isms in the movie. Like not, I mean. Well, there wasn't like some like
Yeah.
random like montage where like they blast a pop music and then like shit happens and stuff. Like they didn't do things like that, but there was still a lot of Shinkai-isms, like little girl falls in love with a boy and magic shit
Yeah,
happens,
teen
like
romance, natural disasters, like
yeah, environment related
Yeah.
like messaging,
Yeah,
like
definitely,
photorealism
it's
of
still-
Japan. Yeah, still a
Yeah.
Shinkai film, but I love it. I love how
Yeah.
Shinkai,
No stuff.
all
about,
of his movies are
no
good. It's
stuff
like,
about boobs in this film, though.
yeah, no boobies in this one, which is disappointing, but whatever. So, but yeah,
Make your act together.
yeah. What did you guys think? I loved it. Yeah. So,
I mean, well, I had a weird shift in the in how I feel about the Shinkai movies recently after I saw this film, where I rewatched Weathering with You,
oh yeah,
and I
yeah.
actually like it more now than Your Name.
Oh wow, really?
But yeah. I mean, it might shift around again, but yeah.
Can I ask what made you like
yeah,
it more this time in the second rewatch than you did in the first watch?
I don't know. It's just like I felt like I was more invested in the story, and like it went faster, and I like the characters a lot more on this.
You kind of like knew what to expect this
just
time.
everything. Yeah, it's like everything just kind of felt better, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But Suzume, I have to tell you though, the before I went to the movie was a complete nightmare.
Sure.
And I'm just gonna name and shame Joel on this, because
Okay, yeah.
he was meant to turn up like half an hour early, and then we got in just as the opening logo started. I got there super early, and then I had to like wait around in like in a mall basically for like an hour and a half, and then only at the last minute did he show up. But thankfully, I missed nothing.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna
anyway,
say if you had missed
the
like
movie-
yeah, what the hell? So,
I got up just I got in there just as the Crunchyroll logo faded out.
Okay.
It's good because the cinemas where we were going to has like 30 minutes of ads before, so
Yeah.
we're all good.
All cinemas do.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but anyway, Suzume was it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I think I liked it in like probably the first half, but then
but you didn't like the second half?
is,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should we
that's
just get
kind
into
of me
spoilers, I
as
guess.
well.
Yeah, we're
Already
gonna spoil
spoiled.
the movie. It's been out, so spoilers, everyone. Yeah.
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 As soon as he disappeared, basically, after like stopping the giant worm from getting out, I think that's when it kind of like fell off a little bit for me. But then it kind of like got me back in with like this little kind of road trip bit. But then I was also like why are we introducing like these like characters now as well, at this point in the movie, and then it just kind of felt like it tapered off from there. Like it wasn't nearly as dramatic as I guess as Shinkai intended it to be. Like it kind of, the second half of the film kind of feels like fractured from the first half.
I disagree, but
quite
yeah.
the same.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I agree with Jules there. I feel like they build like
what are your thoughts,
to
Luka?
a climax so well in the first half, like so much so that I thought it was literally the end of the movie. And then there was still like another hour.
And then there was still more movie to go. Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? Why is this still going on for so long?
It was kind of like the end. That part kind of reminded me of the climax of Weathering with You, when Hina sacrificed herself, and then like the movie goes on for another 20 minutes so that he can get that Hodaka can get go to the spiritual world and like rescue Hina,
Yeah,
but in the process
only,
like fuck over.
It's not like an hour, you know.
Yeah, I think that was better done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, so yeah. But I'm only just realizing this now, but apparently the guy who like goes on the road trip with Suzume, who like with the car and stuff, apparently it's the same voice actor who voiced Taki in Your Name. So it's like it's wild. It's like
really?
yeah. So like even though I didn't get to
characters in this one,
no, none of the characters were in this one, so
not?
that's why I was like really disappointed. It's like damn, what the fuck? It's like you could have like
That's why you didn't rate it a 10 out of 10.
yeah, because no cameos. I was so bummed out by
the
that.
cinematic universe is
Shattered.
ruined.
Just like a Marvel fan.
Yeah, it's like a Marvel movie. I get what.
Why didn't Iron Man cameo in this one? What the hell?
Yeah. When did Thanos show up in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? So, yeah,
Yeah. Did you guys?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you. Go ahead.
In terms of, I don't disagree with the second half like being a bit disjointed, like because I mean I also admit that I thought the first half was more interesting than the second half, but I felt like in terms of what they were going for, I thought it was a lot of like. I thought it was just well executed, if I'm being honest. Like because there's a lot of reference to like Suzume's past and how like the earthquake like essentially like is what caused her to lose her mother. Essentially, like she lost her at a young age, and like the way the film opens itself is like it comes full circle because like she's crying when she's like a child, she's trying to like look for her mom, but then like when it comes back to like
that opening bit when she's crying, I could not take that seriously.
Really, I took it very. I was super invested.
It sounded like she was moaning in a way a child.
Okay,
should
but
not
like
be moaning.
this is a complaint you seem to have with like most anime we talk about, where it's like
Well,
it sounds
I mean,
like
hey, that's just if that's like something that is gonna prevent me from being interested in the movie and like connecting to that like part of the film, then that's what I'm gonna say.
Well, either way, I was super invested, and then like when they do this like incorporate this like time travel element bit where it's like revealed that it's not her mom who like gave her the chair and like gave her the coat and all this other stuff, like it was just future her. And I thought that was like a really interesting way of like tackling these themes about like grief and like coming over like your inner demons and your past, you know, kind of, like to look for a brighter future and stuff like that. Because like I thought it was really sweet how everything wrapped together, because like not only does she save, you know, her much older boyfriend, but she also saves herself in a way too, because you know she the way she presents herself as this like motherly figure, like you can clearly tell like she's grown a lot from the journey that she got on for some reason. But like, you know, like the inner minutia sort of thing, like, yeah, it's not like that well developed, you know, it could have been better explained, but it's like, yeah, this is like a vibe movie for me, essentially. Like I really enjoyed what was happening, like from moment to moment. I really, really liked the characters. I liked Suzume herself. I thought she was like another like excellent like Makoto Shinkai protagonist and stuff like that, you know, like, you know, I was super invested. The animation itself like is gorgeous. Like, I mean, that's like to be expected of a Shinkai film since all of his movies look great. But I thought like this one in particular, there were like some 3D animation where I was like, ew,
I think
gross.
the 3D animation looked really.
Yeah,
gross.
I was like,
it looked really
especially
bad.
like
Yeah.
the ones pertaining to like the car. I was like, ugh,
bad.
gross. Like, please go away.
I think just the
Yeah, no, that
worms,
didn't look good.
the worms, and like
The
all
worms were
like,
fine. I
red
thought
bullshit in the
I thought they
sky.
looked fine. Yeah,
No, I thought they looked really,
The worms looked
really
alright.
bad
Yeah.
to me, honestly.
but
Especially like it's weird because like in like any old like TV anime, like I would excuse it because it's like, oh yeah, like this is just clearly a budget reason, and maybe it was a budget reason in this film as well, but like I don't know, like Your Name is like one of the most successful anime films of all time. Like this one is like one of the most highest grossing animated films of the year. And like all the other animation looks great, like completely beautiful. Like it obviously took a lot of time for them to draw like every frame and everything. So it's like, why could they not translate that into like the bigger like CG elements of the film?
I think it's just like
Yeah.
it's just like I feel like it's just so big of a difference between like when you mix like 2D and 3D Western animation, you know, like when you watch something like Spider-Verse or something, you know, or like Puss in Boots, like the integration between 2D and 3D is just like blends better because of how like I don't even know the best way to describe it, but it's just like it just fits, you know, like for Western animation. But for anime, the difference between 2D and 3D is just so big. Like the gap is so big, and so and it's so jarring that it's like you can't excuse it as much. And even I'm admitting like some of the 3D animation looked ugly, like it looked awful to look at, but.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like again, like this is like a
like
positives over negative sort of thing. Like I think overall the movie looked really really amazing. Like just anything to do with like small stuff when they're like drinking like bottles or whatever or eating food. You know, like classic Shinkai like things that just look really really like awesome to look at. You know, it's like. I think it did a great job. It could have toned down the 3D animation by like 100,000, obviously, but like I liked what was happening visually, and I liked what was happening like plot wise at the same time. So,
yeah.
So, Jules, you've been quiet. You like to hear more of your thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that the spin of the chair him being transformed into a chair, like I was kind of mixed on it because there were times where it was like it was clearly meant to be funny that he's running around as a chair, but then there's also times where like it's meant to be dramatic, like when they're trying to shut those doors. And he's just like he's just running around like skipping
and I think they did both well. I don't know. Yeah, like I
yeah, no, I
didn't mind that.
It might be just my personal humor, but I was just like, this is like I can't take this like
the humor that I thought that was cringe
seriously.
on the chair when she was like, "Oh, can I stand on you? Can I sit on you?" Stuff like that. Like that that was a bit weird for me. I'm not gonna lie.
You're not being subtle.
It must have. It must have been really like. I'm so glad that like there weren't people around for like the scene where like she kisses the chair, because like the first time she like was about to do it, she's like, "Oh, it's like gonna be a joke type of thing," but then she actually does it, and I was like, "Thank God people weren't on. Otherwise, people would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? Like Jesus." So.
So was your like cinema empty?
Yeah, no, there were like barely any people. Like aside from like me and my brother, there were like one or two other people, but they didn't seem to like care. They didn't get like a reaction.
I was fairly like packed.
I had a completely empty IMAX cinema.
Yeah, mine was
What?
Wait, yours was packed, Jules?
Just
yeah,
me
that's
and my friend.
Why was that's surprising? Yeah, because like,
well, like not like it wasn't like a sold out, but there was a good mix of people. I'd say like there was at least 50.
Yeah, like there were like barely anyone.
Oh,
there was
wow,
barely
that's
anyone
crazy.
in my theater. I was like, "Are you kidding? Like this is the."
It was a big
Yeah,
theater.
this is the Your Name guy. Like, what the fuck? Like, where is everybody? So.
What the hell, guys?
Yeah. So yeah, I think
mean,
it's
to be fair, I saw it like maybe like the first week it was out. I think.
Yeah, no, so did I. I saw it opening night,
maybe
and there were
that-
2 other people besides me.
Oh.
Like,
And there was 2 other people.
yeah, it was.
like the very first.
Yeah, it was like
Oh,
it was
Jesus.
fucked. Like, what the hell? Like, oh my god. So, yeah, I was reading about this film after I saw it, and apparently Shinkai wanted Sota, I think that was his name, like he wanted him to be like a female character because he wanted to like explore like a lesbian relationship like for the first time because he's never done that. But apparently the producers were like no, you can't do that because gay or whatever or something. So but he was like, okay, what if she like hooks up with a chair? And they were like, oh hell yeah, that's hot, let's do that. And I'm like,
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah, I think I saw a review.
and I was like, what
it
the
was like,
fuck?
I saw a review. It was like straight people will rather make a movie about someone fucking a chair than a gay
yeah.
movie. Yeah.
And I didn't know what that meant the first time I read that, but then when I heard about that, I was like, oh my god, that's it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I think it's weird because like there's an entire subgenre of anime dedicated to gay relationships. Like there's an entire subgenre of anime called yaoi that's essentially just like anime but like for gay people. It's like just super hot dudes like, you know, making out and like having a relationship. Like there's an entire subgenre of anime dedicated to this. So I don't fucking understand why they couldn't just like let that happen for this one. Like I wouldn't have given a shit either way. So I don't know, like, you know, like it didn't affect the plot or like the movie in any ways because I still loved it, but it's like what the fuck? I was yeah. So but yeah, I
did kind of like their romance though. I like that that ending bit, even though it's like kind of anime cliche, but I thought it was really sweet, you know, when he comes back to like the little seaside town.
I thought their relationship was very sweet. Like it's like this.
Yeah, it's just like charming.
Yeah, this is what Shinkai does very, very well. Like he can make like these 2 like boyfriend girlfriend type characters like really charismatic and really like charming and sweet together, you know. And like the same applies to this. Like yeah, the boyfriend's a chair for like 2/3 of the movie, but it's like the fact that he can still make that work is like really incredible.
It still works.
Yeah. Like holy fuck. And like when the chair boy like sacrifices himself like so that he can save like the rest of the planet, and then like she's so like shaken up by the fact like she basically tells this cat to fuck off, like, and the cat like gets super skinny like and depressed because she told him to fuck off. Like I think all that was like really emotional, you know. And then like when she like breaks down crying, like asking the boyfriend's dad or grandpa or whatever, be like, how do I rescue him? I want him back. Like I want him back in my life, sort of thing. You know, like it's like Kodaka and Hina from Weathering with You. It's like the final act in like Your Name when they have to like race against time to stop a fucking meteor to blow up a town. You know, it's like
I will admit like. In terms of the story and like everything that kind of happened towards the end, like that magical world and stuff, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like maybe I didn't pay enough attention, but I was like, actually, like what is actually happening right now? I was so
thought like the
confused.
doors
Like,
I thought the doorways were like a pretty like neat way in exploring these like themes of like grief and like trauma and stuff like that, because that's clearly like the focus of this movie. Just like the doorways are these, because like when she like is trying to close the doors where like the poop worm comes out or whatever, like she can see like she can hear like her voice or whatever from like the other side. She can see like this magical world, and she's like, what is this? Like I like this is like really beautiful and stuff. But then like when she has to actually go back to the door that she went through in the first place, it's her like finally confronting, you know, her like her past and stuff like that.
There was a lot of like imagery of like locks and like keeping memories and stuff. Like there's a lot of like she's like obviously has to lock all these doors, but there's a grand focus on like just locks in general. Like she has like this little bicycle lock that she does every time, and there's like a close up of that, and like yeah, there's a lot of imagery that like kind of relates to like this idea of like keeping memories and stuff locked up in a door and shit like that.
And you can even interpret like the poop worm Like obviously like it's like a metaphor for like earthquakes and shit like that and like tsunamis and like natural disasters in Japan. But you can also like
Yeah.
kind of see that as like a metaphor for like her like bottling up emotions and stuff like that cuz you can clearly tell that like she's still not over this, and her aunt like is also not over this as well, because like there's that scene where like I mean she's like mind controlled by a cat, but she like talks about how like I wasted like 10 years of my life just to be like a mother figure to you, or whatever, like no, I never got married and things like that. And like I thought all that was like really heartbreaking. It's like what the fuck. You know, it's like can't we just be happy? Like Jesus. So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, I could get into this movie like forever because I have a lot to say and I really liked a lot of things about it. I still, like I said, I still think Your Name and Weathering with You are the better movies, and I don't know if you guys agree with me with that or not. But yeah,
I think this is
I really,
bit better than Your Name, in my opinion. I like
really
it more.
okay,
Really?
so-
Yeah, no. I think out of the three that I've seen from him, like this is my least favorite probably.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I love the movie,
It's
and
still
I
like,
also
pretty,
agree with
pretty
that.
solid.
Yeah. So as
Yeah.
far as
I still
animation,
need to watch 5 centimeters per second.
yeah, and Garden of Words. I think those are the other two films
yeah.
from him that are like worth your time. So, yeah, this is like a really, really great animated film that people could be watching. But no, people are watching fucking Mario instead, because like this movie like was pulled out of my theaters like literally like 2 weeks. But because so that it can make more room for fucking Mario. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I hate everything so much. I hate I hate that Mario is the animated film that people are like calling to. But no, go fuck yourself,
Yeah.
Suzume. Like Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
I mean, I think this film still did really well at the box office, surprisingly. Like I think it
worldwide
got, like,
because
Yeah.
worldwide, but
Yeah.
still, like,
I think this is
Yeah.
like in the top 6 like most like financially successful anime films. I'd have to like
Yeah,
100%
it
check
still
that.
did
Yeah, but
really well.
good on it. Yeah, like because it deserves that. I want Shinkai to get all the money because I want to see what he does next. Like I honestly can't wait for his next thing. So, but please
Same.
make it another boy meets girl romance. I kind of miss that.
What
in this
natural
one. I mean,
disasters next? Tornadoes?
no,
Yeah, he's running
Suna-
out of them.
Yeah.
I suppose
'Cause-
he's already done volcanoes now.
Oh, it can be like Pompeii or something like that, you know. So,
Oh yeah.
so- or it can be like a
symbolic
tsunami.
retelling of Pompeii.
Yeah, but with cute anime characters instead. That sounds awesome. I want to see that
Yeah,
movie.
That was
So-
good. Oh, he makes
Yeah.
like Titanic, but with anime.
Oh hell yeah! I would also watch
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
would be
so,
awesome.
yeah. So take our ideas,
Shinkai, if
Shinkai.
you're
I
watching
want.
this, get on that.
Yeah, take our ideas. I want to see all this happen. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have Timmy
Anyway,
write the
I
film.
yeah I can write it. Don't worry. So, yeah, I could go on, but you know I think we've said enough, and we have
Yeah,
other
we
things
need
to
to move
talk
on,
about. So
so.
yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah. As of right now, this is if you don't count that Charlie Kaufman short, this is currently my favorite film of 2023, and giving it an 8 out of 10. It was awesome. Really loved it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. Definitely like not one of my favorites from him, but still good. Still like it.
Yeah, I'm at like a 6 or a 7. I really liked it. I thought it was sweet. Nothing perfect or amazing though, in my opinion.
I'm glad we're all within the same range
Yeah.
with all these recent movies that we've been talking about. 6 to 8,
Yeah.
nothing lower, nothing higher. So,
Well, wait, have we got? Oh yeah, we got one more to talk about.
well, I haven't
Should
seen
we
Ryland,
even
so
talk about it?
Recommendation. Yeah.
well,
Like,
I if you guys
enough
want, I
time.
will definitely make time to see it before next episode. So if you want to wait until next time, I
I guess we
I
could just
don't
wait
know.
until next time.
Yeah.
will
think we should
promise
just
you
wait
I
till
will
next
see Ryland
Yeah,
by
watch
then.
it.
So yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. I guess we can get into the recommendation now. I guess if we feel like it.
Yeah. Speaking
Yeah.
of Diving Bell and the Butterfly. We
Yeah,
saw it. It
the
was
the
my
movie.
recommendation. The film by how does I spell his name? Julian Schnabel.
Schnabel. I don't know. So
Schnapple.
Schnapple.
Starring
Snapple.
Snapple,
Yeah.
starring Matthew Almalek, I think is how
I
you
think
pronounce
it's
his name.
pronounced Mathieu Almer. He was the guy he
Almalek,
played
The Wes
he played
Anderson guy.
he played
yeah,
Olivia
the Wes
Cook's
Anderson. Of course, that's how you know him, Luca.
he played Olivia Cook's dad in Sound of Metal. So there's your
Yeah.
reference. Yeah.
He was the bad guy in that one bad James Bond film.
Which I've never seen, so I zero
no,
point of
no
reference
need.
for that. Yeah. So but yeah, anyway, what's the plot?
Yeah.
What is it about?
The plot is about this guy called Jean Du, who is a French magazine editor who suffers a really almost fatal stroke, and he's left paralyzed basically for the rest of his life. And he can only communicate by blinking one of his eyes. And the film is basically just about his life after that moment, and just living with that and struggling with that. And yeah, I think this film is it's fucking awesome. It's one of my one of my favorite films ever. I think it's just like almost perfect in like every way. Yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I really loved it. I thought it was awesome. I think the first like 30 minutes of this movie I think is like pure perfection, because I really loved
Yes.
the way they shot like those scenes, because they were shooting like from a first person perspective, and they kind of like, you know, like you can only like
just like
there's
the
no
Doom
like
movie.
wide. Yeah, it's like the Doom movie, yeah. Like, you can only see from his perspective, and, like, because of that, like, the camera is also pretty stationary as well, because, like, you know, his movements are pretty limited, and, you know, you can, like, oh, cool. You can kind of see, just how, like, how frustrated he is at the beginning, because he you know, like you can hear his voice through like voiceover and stuff like that and narration, but like none of the doctors can hear what he's saying, none of the nurses can hear what he's saying. So he's like, for the first like 5 to 10 minutes, you can like feel his frustration, be like, how come you guys can't hear me? Like, can you guys not hear me or whatever? Like, I'm saying I'm fine and all this other shit. And that was like really heartbreaking. And like, yeah, he kind of like gets more used to it, but like more hardships like come across, you know, when like he has to call his dad, and you know, and he has to like communicate with like his ex-wife or lover or something. I don't remember, you know. It's like all that's just like really hard, you know, because like, you think he's like finally got the hang of things, but then like more bullshit is thrown toward his face, and he's like, oh my god, you know. It's like it's a sad movie, but it's not trying to be like emotional porn or anything. It's not trying to be like, yo, isn't this depressing? Guy is, you know, paralyzed or whatever. Like, it's actually trying to build like a real drama, like a real story and characters and stuff like that. So from that sense, like, there was a lot I really appreciated about the film. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the way that they reveal that, like, it's basically him just speaking in his head when he's like, "Stop it, I'm fine," is like really expertly done, because like you don't really realize that, like, that's him just speaking in his head at the start, because it's almost kind of like indirect, the way he talks and stuff. So you get the impression that he is actually like speaking to the nurse lady and stuff, but then there's like a certain point where I think it's the first time you actually see him from without like a first person shot, where he's like speaking like, oh, like he can't actually speak, like this is like none of this is getting through to the people trying to take care of him.
And it's actually kind of scary,
And,
like from the way they presented it too.
Yeah, and it's actually really scary, like being trapped in that's just like a nightmare for me. Like the scene where the kind of like the fly goes on his nose. Oh my god, that's like
that would
my
make
worst nightmare.
that would make me so anxious, like, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
And when he like he has to like really focus to like see the TV and stuff, because they kind of like, even the doctors who are treating him sometimes kind of like act like he's not there, basically. Like when they turn the TV off when they leave the room and stuff.
Yeah, they're so nonchalant
like-
about his condition because like
Yeah.
they were like he's like, oh, like it's everything's fine, you're gonna be okay, you know, you're in the bed. Like I can imagine that's
You're in the best possible care. But
yeah, it's like, you know, like we have the tools to like if you, in the past you would have like died or whatever, but like we actually got to like save your life, and in his mind he's thinking like this is life, like this isn't life, this is like hell or whatever. And I was like, yeah, like these doctors are kind of assholes.
He's
Like
miserable.
maybe not intentionally, but it's like they just like they can't really go understand what this guy's going through, even though they're treating him, because you know they're not the ones who are paralyzed, they're not the ones who can only communicate through blinking and shit like that, you know. It's it's fucked. So yeah. Luka?
Yeah, it's just like-
oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
oh yeah, Luka. No, Luka, go.
Yeah. Well, you guys have kind of started already, but phenomenal film. I really loved it. I think it's such a great film about life and like kind of learning to appreciate it no matter what shit happens. And like it's just like such a great like internal like monologue film, I guess, and like that feeling of like how like just trying to convey what this guy is fucking going through, especially like through the symbolism and like the idea of the diving bell and the butterfly. Like he's kind of like this dude in a diving suit sinking to the bottom of the ocean, trapped.
He's just trapped
in like this in this void, I guess.
Void of ocean.
Yeah, void of ocean, or like kind of trapped in a cocoon, like a butterfly. And there's I just loved the film. Like yeah,
this is a Luka movie. Yeah, so.
Yeah, this is a Luka movie. Jules
that's
got
what I
it.
predicted. I said this is very much a Luka movie.
It is certainly a Luka movie. Yeah. But yeah, like I think the whole thing just like feels very authentic and real, and like I love where it went. I love the scenery and especially like the surrounding aspects of the film. Like there's a lot of great performances and like subtext and all, but I think the main thing is like just its presentation and like how it shows all of these things. Like
the main
like that shot of the eye in the beginning and like how it gets sealed up.
So yeah, like when it gets sealed up or whatever
It's
with
so
the
good.
that was fucked. Yeah.
And like how the film like uses its colors to express emotion and stuff like that, and like that kind of ties into like how the how the guy's feeling, because you can interpret the colors as like
his mood, basically.
Mood. Like you can even interpret the colors and how it's used within the title, like the diving bell, like him, like essentially as the film gets more blue and darker green, it's kind of like him sinking to the bottom of the ocean. But like by the end, as the film gets more vibrant, it kind of like goes along with the butterfly and this imagery of like him birthing from the cocoon, because eventually there comes a point where like he kind of manages to make it work. He kind of like feels a slightly more happy
whole, like,
in this
book.
Yeah,
he
with
kind
just
of,
like
communicate.
yeah, with
very
just winking.
inspiring
Yeah,
movie in that regard. Yeah, and like
in that sense, because I was kind of disappointed that the film like started being shot more traditionally, because I would have like at first I was like, but I liked how like the first 30 minutes were like entirely shot from like his POV, you know, like, and it was so limited in terms of like framing and stuff like that. But then like the more you guys talk about it and the more I think about it, the more I realize, wow, like the actual like switch to like a more traditional way of shooting, you know, like, you know, more like medium and like wide lenses and stuff, like it kind of like fits with like the tone and like the themes of it. So yeah, like in that sense, like a butterfly, like the film feels more free in that sense. So yeah, like I can't even be mad at that in that sense. Yeah, because it's like it's just complying with the themes. Yeah.
Like like I said, like it opens up, like he quite literally comes out of the cocoon and the film starts to like pull its camera back, and you start to get more like scenery and environment out of the film, and you start. I really like the scenes where it was kind of like flashbacks of his life.
Those were awesome. Yeah, like the way they like
yeah,
blast
those were great.
music, like a lot of like
Yeah,
pop, like
and
rock music or whatever.
Oh,
but then
yeah,
it just
that-
like
in the
cuts
beginning.
like right before, like right to like to
Yeah.
the next scene where it's like a slap in the face of reality or whatever. It's like, oh my god, those were awesome. I really
awesome.
liked those. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the the most like heartbreaking scene in the film for me was like when he called his father, and it was just like they just have such like limited like time, and like it's just like it's so difficult for them to communicate with each other that it's like
Yeah,
just, like,
God,
it's just-
how
it
destroyed
gets
the
me every
father
time.
feels.
Yeah, and like and
and he's just like
he's
because
like,
he
"I can't
essentially
talk
can
to you
never
like
he can never
this."
talk to his son anymore like
Yeah.
as a person.
yeah,
He can only
because
really
the dude
talk
was
to,
like so fucking brittle that like he literally can't like he can't even come visit his son because he's so like brittle that like he can't even walk down of like a couple flight of stairs to see his
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's this like massive barrier already, you know, like it's not like with his wife or you know, girlfriend or whatever where it's like, you know, she can just visit him whenever he wants. But like some people just
Yeah.
can't do that, you know, and so it's like this might be
Yeah.
like the last time that they ever talk or see each other. So it's just like, oh my god, it's just like really disheartening, you know? So
yeah.
Yeah, truly.
yeah. So and to contrast
like-
oh sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say like it is and he is like he did have it at like the worst possible time where like the only way you could communicate with these people basically was to do this kind of like blinking spelling out word stuff when like now people like I forget what's I don't know what Stephen Hawking had, but I think it was something similar, but he had like
Oh,
a
yeah,
whole
like a voice
text to speech
modulator.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
thing.
yeah, because I remember
Yeah, so, like-
I was reading Roger Ebert's review for this film as well, and he was talking about how much he could like connect with the movie as well, because that was at that point where like he lost his voice and he couldn't like speak anymore, and
yeah,
he had to
yeah.
do like a text to speech sort of thing, and yeah, like and I can see how like emotionally
No
resonant.
wonder he loved it so much.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this must be like one of the. Yeah, actually, I was gonna say, is this like one of the last films he's ever saw? But no, that's not true. But yeah, no, I can
He saw much more.
I can imagine like this being like really emotionally powerful for a lot of people. You know, even like, and it makes you wonder like life is super unpredictable because you know like Mathieu Almaric or however you pronounce his name, like you know he didn't have any like conditions that like caused him to like expect something like this. Like from the most part he was like a pretty healthy guy, you know, like he didn't smoke, like he
Yeah.
wasn't like a huge drinker or
just
anything like that. Just like shit just happened and now he's just got to kind of have to live with
Yeah.
it sort of thing, you know. So
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it gives you like such an appreciation for like even the most like ordinary things such as like walking and like talking to another human being like as yourself, because it could just like at any point it could just all be taken away just you know like that. And I think that's the most like almost frightening thing about the film, but like it gives such almost beauty in a way to like those flashback scenes as well when he's driving with his son just in the car.
Yeah.
And you can see like how much more like vibrant and stuff like his life was, like the color palette
Yeah,
as
literally.
well like gets much more bright there compared to just kind of like how not grayish but like just kind of how flat I guess the color palette is when he's just in the hospital room bed just kind of existing basically in like
And
a
he's not,
plane
like-
of, like nothingness.
yeah. And he's not like an asshole or anything. Like it's not like he was like a shitty father
Yeah.
or a shitty person and then just had to become a good person like through this condition. Like he was like a pretty like good dude, you know? Like he took care of his dad.
He was comfortably living life.
Yeah, he loved his kids and he had a good job, and so it's like it's not like this is one of those like, oh, you deserved it type of things. I mean, no one deserves this sort of condition, but like he was like a relatively chill guy, but then like, you know, just shit happened. So it's like, like,
Yeah.
but it's like really inspiring. It's like, I can imagine like some shitty like cliche like Oscar bait version of this where they just have like a bunch of bullshit like swelling like emotional music and like Oscar baity type moments. Like there's none of that in this movie. Like this is all just like
There's barely any music in this.
Yeah, it's like it's a very real, just like visceral experience.
Very quaint.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
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 I was reading up about this movie a little bit, and apparently this was going to be an American production. Like apparently like Johnny Depp was supposed to play like the main character or whatever.
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh my god, that would have been like fucked. And apparently Johnny Depp is the one who got Julian Schnapple or whatever, however you pronounce his name, the job. But he was like super insistent on it being in French or whatever. But it's like, but Johnny Depp can't speak French or whatever. So, and then like Johnny left because I guess he had to do one of the Pirates movies or something. So so
we won.
Yeah, so everyone wins sort of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure Johnny Depp could have given a decent performance, but I think like an American version of this would not have hit as hard for me as this.
It would have been like so much worse, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think just the fact that it is done in French and it's all French actors. Like,
this feels like a French story.
It really makes the film.
This feels like a French story anyway. So
like,
I don't.
You wouldn't know the director is American.
Yeah. So. Mm-hmm.
The one thing that is just a bit confusing about it is that like French alphabet. It's like because they have like different sounds for different letters. So they're like A, and then it's like he said A, and it's like, and then in the subtitle it says like N, and it's like never mind.
That's what I learned from this movie. That's that the French alphabet is so confusing. It's like because I was having those moments too. I'm glad you mentioned that because I was chuckling to myself because it's like they had like a O sound like ooh. It's like, oh, is this like O? And it's like, no, it's H. I'm like, what the fuck? Like that that sounded nothing like what I just heard. Yeah. So
literally.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm. But and all that whole technique about them about her like having to do like the what's it like listing out the letters and him having to blink and stuff. Like that whole thing, like it you kind of process that thing the same way the main character processes it, because the first time like when you see it in the film you're like, oh god, this is gonna get super annoying if the film does this every single time this guy wants to say something. But then you slowly get used to it, just like the character in the film does, and it slowly becomes like a part of it.
And by at that point, he's an expert at it.
But then you also share
there's like the
frustration
funny
with him as like how long it takes to have like a conversation with someone.
Yeah, but it also the film rarely shows you like how much of a thing it becomes in his life. Like there's that funny little gag where like I think it's like his one friend or someone visits him and he's like, you gotta look at me when I'm saying the letter, you silly Billy. Like and then it's just like funny things like that, like just how like the process of how everyone like has to get used to this is like something that I like how the film expressed as well. And like all the different like techniques like his family had to do to try like communicate with him and like play games with him and stuff like that. And like it's just
you can tell that it's
little
you can tell that it's like it's really hard for other people, not just him, because like now they have to like learn an entirely new language, a new like form of communication to be able to talk to this person.
It's like learning sign language for someone or something like that.
And it's I liked how the movie had like a sense of humor. Like it wasn't like it
wasn't
like
depressing.
what I liked that bit where they the telephone company people, like they brought in a phone and they were like confused. It's like, why does he need a telephone if he can't speak or whatever?
And that bit's hilarious.
And the nurse was like offended by that, but like the main character was like, he was like, that was kind of funny. That's funny. I like that. So it's like I like how I like
really
how
love
this
that.
movie has a sense of humor.
He still retains.
Yeah,
his
but
sense
it's
of
not
humor.
like disrespecting or like being offensive about like, oh, it's like a shitty comedy could have been like, huh, lol, he's paralyzed or whatever, you know, like it takes itself seriously while also having a sense of humor. And I personally really liked the music, like more particularly like the piano bits. They kind of reminded me of the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind like score type of thing, you know, like both in tone and like the way it sounds and stuff. Like, because I loved the piano music specifically. I really enjoyed it. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it's just great movie. Like, yeah,
It's just
yeah.
fantastic.
I mean,
lots of value on the imagination put in it. That when you're that like kind of lonely as well, like got nothing, you can really like imagine anything in your mind like he does. Like he's just like, oh, I want to go to what should I imagine today? I'll just go to a gourmet
was this?
restaurant.
Yeah. That I loved that. I
really
love that
love
scene where
those
like
elements.
he and his like
That
he
was
and
a
his
great
like I think
scene.
his nurse, his nurse or whatever, or his writer, I don't remember, but they were like, yeah, please start like eating all this food. They like start like sucking like oysters from each other and stuff like that. That was like, yeah, I like how like this film explores like fantasy because like. And it's not like just like weird shit. It's just like day-to-day things that like he used to be able to do, like eat all this food. Like I can imagine like now he has to like get his nutrients through like by sucking through a straw. Yeah, like sucking through a straw
yearns
or
for the
something like that.
ordinary.
But like I love how like
Yeah.
his wildest fantasies is just like eating food and like having a good
Eating
time and
food
like
or, or like going for a drive or something.
yeah, you know.
Now
Because he can't
everything
do
in
those
his
things
life is
anymore.
just
Yeah.
difficult,
Yeah.
and it's like it's through a medical process basically.
So, yeah, it's a sad film, but it's very uplifting and inspiring as
Yeah.
well. So,
But it's a beautiful film.
did this get nominated for Oscars or something? It should have.
It did actually. He got nominated for Best Director, I think.
Oh, nice. But no Best Actor award.
didn't-
That's
don't-
that's lame. So,
Yeah, which is
Okay.
dumb because this is like a really great performance just through
Oh yeah.
yeah,
through facial
he
expressions,
sells
I think.
it. Like he's the probably
He
one of the
sells
big
it so well.
one of the big reasons why this movie works. Like without his performance, like this movie
Yeah.
would not have worked nearly as
This
well as
movie
it
would be
does.
like not as good as it is.
So,
Because to be able to like express so much emotion just basically in like moving your eye, that is astounding acting, I think.
Oh wow! And guess who got nominated for Best Actor over him?
oh who?
It was
Johnny Depp in Sweeney
Oh my
Todd.
God.
Oh, fuck off.
He stole the guy's
Yeah,
Oscar.
things. Yeah, this all really went full
He
circle.
was jealous,
Jesus.
so he rigged the boat.
Yeah.
Did he get nominated for Best Actor though?
Okay,
No, he
it
didn't
got
get nominated for Best Actor, but I think he got nominated for Best.
Best
Yeah,
Director, Screenplay, Editing.
won
which is
nothing.
definitely deserved.
Yeah, I didn't win any of these awards. Yeah.
And yeah, just editing. Yeah.
Was there no?
Cinematography, it should have gone.
Oh, it also got cinematography.
Oh, apparently it was ineligible for Best Foreign Language Film because it was an American production. So, I mean, I still think that's bullshit,
yeah,
but
no.
whatever.
What? That's silly.
Yeah, so-
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, the way that the technical requirements
The
for
thing works so
yeah the
weird.
requirements for like I guess it's now called Best International Feature Film, like the requirements to do that are just so fucking stupid. It's like
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What I'm learning about this year of Oscars is that only 3 films were nominated for Best Animated Feature. Like, could you guys not find 2
oh my
more?
god.
Yeah.
2 more
And one
out
of them
the
was,
whole
was like
year?
a Netflix film. You really couldn't find anything else.
You
No, it
lazy
was- it
fucking
was
assholes.
It
Yeah.
was Ratatouille, it was Persepolis, and it was Surf's Up, and that's it.
That is oh my
Oh,
god.
you're talking about the... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, what the hell?
what the fuck.
2007 animated
Oscars
films.
moment.
There's Meet the Robinsons. There's the Simpsons movie. Come on, guys.
I can't believe this wasn't
There's Shrek,
Yeah,
that's
it's bullshit. Yeah, they've never cared about the
that's why.
best animated feature films whatsoever. Which
Yeah, but this is a
yeah.
tangent for
yeah,
another day.
we'll
it's
get there
okay.
when we get there. Yeah, I'm looking at the best picture.
Yeah.
This didn't get a best director. Sorry, best picture nominations, which I think is
It should have.
yeah, bullshit. But then I'm looking at some of the other films that got nominated, and I was like, I guess it makes sense because it's like this is the same year that like No Country for Old Men and like There Will Be Blood was also like nominated and stuff. I mean, that still doesn't explain why Juno got nominated for Best Picture, but not fucking this movie. So yeah, so. And I haven't seen Atonement or Michael Clayton, but I'm sure they're quality movies. So,
Atonement's
yeah.
good. I like Atonement.
Yeah. Anything
Michael
else
Clayton's good.
we want to talk about with this film? I feel like we've said everything, unless anyone else is.
Yeah, I think we covered all the bases.
I will say,
just
like,
like-
my one like minor gripe with the film is that like, I think towards the end of the second and the beginning of the third, it kind of got a little repetitive because at a certain point it was just like, he has fantasy, he goes out, he thinks about things, spends time with people, like it that goes on for like a little too long, and I was like, okay, I get it, like let's get to the next point, like. And that that was
that's
like
fair.
that was like my one minor gripe. Like that was the thing that was preventing me from like giving this like a full 10 out of 10. Where it's like that little bit I was like, like okay, I get it, movie. Let's move on. So
I don't have that problem, but yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, should we do ratings?
yeah, I guess so. Unless if there's nothing else to
yeah.
say,
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna give this one a 10 out of 10. I think it's the best film we've discussed for this podcast. It's beautiful, poetic,
yeah.
just like horrifying almost in a way. And yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorite films I think ever.
one of these days we're gonna have a consensus on what the actual like we'll all agree with like the best film that we've
What the
recommended.
best film is.
Yeah, that we recommended for this podcast.
I don't think
Is
we
that
ever
even
will.
possible though?
It has to be
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
it would have to be like I recommend like 2001, and then we all just go, yeah, like this is the best film objectively, like on that we've talked about on the podcast or whatever. So,
Nah. 2000 mid.
okay, all right, if you say so. So,
If you say so.
Yeah, I would probably. I think I'm so close to a 10. I think
I'll just give it a 10.
I don't even have any flaws with it. I just think it's like a connection thing. Like I really
Yeah.
connected to this film and I really loved it. I don't think in my mind it's like a 10 yet, but like I can definitely see it like being there on rewatch. Very me film. Love it a lot.
Luka
So
film.
many things to love about it. 9. 9.5.
No,
Just
5.
fantastic. Just absolutely phenomenal. Great film.
yeah, and I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. One minor gripe that I mentioned before, but other than that, I genuinely don't have any other issue with the film. So yeah, 9 out of 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. I guess we can
Alright,
get into
question
questions.
time.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave
Alright,
questions in the
so-
comments. You know how this works.
Yep.
Pretty
Please.
obvious. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. First question is from Matthias. What are some movies that you'd love to be on a fly on the wall for the entire production? I've got an answer, but if you guys want to go first, I will.
I'm trying to think of like every like.
So I'm just trying to think of the what that question means. Like just what
The entire
film you
production.
would
yeah,
like-
like if you could see the production
like,
of a
you would
movie,
like to
like
see
just
it
like
unfold.
happen,
Yeah,
yeah. And I'm
okay.
trying. My go-to answer is just like a movie that like was such a shitstorm to make. Like I'm thinking of like I really
Yeah.
want to be on set of like
my answer would be the have you guys ever heard of the movie The Island of Dr. Moreau? With,
No.
Marlon
No.
Brando and Val Kilmer. It's like one of the biggest pieces of shit I've ever seen. It's like, probably like Marlon Brando's like one of the last films he was in, and it just like I think it went through 3 directors, and it was like it went so over budget, and like Marlon Brando and Val Kilmer didn't get along, and Marlon Brando had to be fed his lines through an earpiece, and like because he just didn't give a shit.
I mean, but like,
the
doesn't
the
Marlon Brando
previous
do?
director infiltrated the set as well at one point.
But didn't like Marlon
yeah.
Brando does that anyway? Like apparently he's against memorizing lines because something to do with preventing immersion in the I don't know, like some bullshit like excuse, because he even did that for like The Godfather, and like apparently that's how he remembered his lines in like the first Superman movie, where it's like he didn't bother memorizing his lines, like someone had to hold like a cue card for him. I'm like, dude, like get over yourself. Like I get you're amazing.
Like, he really didn't.
Oh, for this one,
really
yeah.
Didn't give a shit.
Okay, yeah. So,
I think he said he was never gonna watch it. I don't think he ever did.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like
Everyone look up The Island of Dr. Moreau and look up the production story. It's fucking insane.
Is this like at least like a funny bad type movie, or is it not even that?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay, yeah.
It's something.
Yeah, I also am trying to think of like an answer that's like also like the only time I would want to be like a fly in the wall would be like for a shitstorm production. So like my go-to answer would be like Blade Trinity or something like that. Because apparently the movie was had such a shitty production because like Wesley Snipes was being like a fucking asshole. Like he only like wanted to be called Blade, and like using it like apparently because I watched that Conan interview with Patton Oswalt, because Patton Oswalt was like involved in the movie, and like he like went into detail about how like everything was such a shitstorm. Like Wesley Snipes was like constantly smoking weed like in his trailer, and like, you know, was
that around the time that Wesley Snipes got busted?
Yeah, it was around that time as well. But also like I just want to see like just the characters the actors just like laughing at like how shitty the script is, because apparently the original director of Blade was supposed to come back for Blade Trinity, but he said no thanks, bro, because he was like the script is dog shit. And this is the same director. This is the same director who directed League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So you know you're fucked when you have a shitty script, you know? So yeah, I just like this sounds like
really fucked there.
This sounds like a melting pot of disasters, and it's like I just want to be a fly on the wall to see like how everything like transpired and stuff. So
yeah, wow.
I would love to be a
Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
That seems like it would be a sick thing to watch, like how they create all the dinosaurs and stuff like that. Like,
I'd want to be a fly on the wall for Spielberg, because he was making both Jurassic Park and Schindler's List at the same time or something, right?
Yeah.
Or so like I just want to see like
fly on the wall to Spielberg.
Yeah, just like see his like mental breakdown, be like go from like crazy dinosaur adventure to like Holocaust movie. I just kind of want to see how he held it all together.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he was editing Jurassic Park like after he came back from every day from shooting Schindler's List.
I think so. Yeah.
When he wasn't filming some like darkly horrific shit, he was like editing
Dinosaur Time. Yeah.
Around.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think obviously the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah.
I'd love to just watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like.
Yeah.
Just watch it in its entirety, because I have the big book on it. And
well, if we're gonna talk about
movie making,
if we're gonna talk about
also Fantastic Mr. Fox, I think, and I Love Dogs.
And then like an Aardman film.
Watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think watching animated films like work itself out essentially is just so fascinating. I think it's just as equally as fascinating as watching the movie itself. Like I watched some like behind the scene footage of like Anomalisa or whatever, and like the amount of like dedication they put into like making, you know, those work out, and just like traditional 2D animated films as well. Like I remember I saw that like that clip of when Miyazaki was making Spirited Away, I think, and they were like they're clearly like overworked and they're exhausted, they have to sleep on their desks, and so they try to like make everyone's day like a little bit better by like having these like nightly like dinner nights where like one of the cast members like cook dinner for everyone. Like Miyazaki made like ramen for everyone and shit like that. It's like that's like really nice, you know. Like I'd like to be a fly on the wall just to see like how that works out, because like making an animated film is like really really difficult, especially if you're going super old school like Miyazaki does, where like everything needs to be hand drawn, everything needs to be done by like pen and paper and pencil and shit like that. It's like that must be exhausting, and I just want to see like I just want to watch that shit happen, you know. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So is it?
Yeah.
That's that question.
Yeah. I guess we answered that question.
Next one. Next one is from Ninjedi, who says, if all three of you had to fight to the death, who would win?
I would win, obviously.
I thought about this
That's
one.
such a good question.
Yeah, I think Timmy would win because he's a weeb, so obviously that means he's like trained in like.
He has the power
Karate.
of God and anime.
The power. What was that? Who said that? I'm trying to remember who said it. It was like some.
Just some random kid.
I have the power of God and anime at my hand.
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Yeah.
As a weeb, I'm so high on bath salts, and there's no way you can take me down. So, yeah. So.
Yeah, I think Jules would be out pretty quick.
Yeah, because he's a
Like-
small
No,
baby. Yeah. So.
You underestimate
Yeah.
Australians. We've got some.
Yeah, Australians, but you're like a small Australian, so.
But you also have to remember, I'm from America,
true.
and apparently getting a gun is as easy as buying like a stick of gum at a grocery store.
Okay,
Like,
wait. How does the battle go? Like, do we all have special power ups that relate to our personality?
Do we have guns? Like, I want to, like, is this like
I
a
think we
fist
all get
fighter?
to
Is it
choose
like
our
a-
favorite weapon.
Is it like a Colosseum kind of
like
thing?
Gladiator,
we need
yeah.
the stats here.
Yeah. I'd say we all get to choose our
Yeah.
favorite weapons and then we fight with them.
We have a
Favorite
favorite.
weapon.
I don't have a favorite weapon because I
Well,
I
don't
tend
know,
to
like
avoid.
Timmy's got a gun. I've got like
Okay, well let's rate it to horror films. Okay, Timmy's got a gun because that's
Yeah.
America. You have like a fucking crocodile. Or
He's
something.
riding a crocodile. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm the
What do I
crocodile
have in
hunter.
South Africa? Like poverty, corruption,
racism.
Lions.
That's
Yeah.
what I
so-
have.
Yeah, you have corruption on your side. The gun turns against
Yeah.
Timmy. the
Yeah, I
crocodile
just
turns
corrupt-
against me. And
Like,
eats me.
you might win the fight, but I'll win all your money at the end. Corruption.
Luka will run for some like Ponzi scheme where he can make money off of like betting or whatever off of our fight or whatever. So even
Yeah.
if she loses, she'll still take home like a shit ton of cash from all.
Yeah, I'll take over the. Yeah, I'll like steal the after the fight's over, I'll just like steal all the things
All the
that
betting
made
money,
fight
and then
Yeah.
possible.
make off with it.
all the betting money. I'll steal like the light bulbs from the stage, sell all that stuff off.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, you could just your weapon can be a Charteau Copley from Elysium or something. So
Or you could have the
Real
killer
vodka.
lion from Beast. You could sick that on us.
oh yeah, I
Oh,
forgot about
yeah.
that movie. Yeah, that was a movie. Yeah, so
Yeah.
What animal would Timmy have though? Just like
bear, yeah, grizzly bear, bald eagle.
bald eagle.
Yeah, bald eagle, probably.
Yeah, so because
Yeah, that makes
because
the most
freedom.
sense.
Yeah, we have freedom and you guys don't. So freedom.
I'd probably have like a kangaroo or like a crocodile.
Yeah, you have a.
You guys have Kangaroo Jack.
once
Yeah,
again.
so
I wonder what the most like iconic South African animal is then.
Probably a lion, I
Like,
guess.
Yeah, I guess. So. Like,
did you guys have a lot of like bugs and like lizards and stuff like that, or but that's not like icon.
maybe like probably like a rhino or like
Ooh.
a lion. I feel like a rhino is more iconic because people like kind of think of like poaching in South Africa. So like
They got that
maybe
mindset.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, either
Yeah.
way, if you've seen the news lately, you know, guns triumph over everything. So, and apparently getting an AR-15 rifle, assault rifle, is just the easiest fucking thing to do in the world. So, in America, so I just win no matter what, unless this is like a fist
Walking
fight.
down the gun
Yeah, like-
aisle in Walmart was a surreal experience when I was in there.
I still don't. I've never
my
seen a
God.
gun aisle in Walmart. Maybe I just like live in the
Well, I was
nicer
in
part of-
Florida, so it was a
Oh,
special
okay,
case.
yeah, then that makes sense. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
My
If it's a
God.
fist fight, do I still win? I guess so, because I again going back to I have the power of God and anime at my.
Well, to be fair, I haven't gone in a long time, but I still have the. I do actually know Taekwondo, so
so do I.
I think I
yeah.
could put up a relatively good fist fight.
All the only power that I have is that I'm just very tall.
Tall.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So you could just like
Like I could probably push over Jules. I don't know
Yeah,
if I could
you could like run me down.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm not a push because I'm not like tall, but I'm not short either. Like I'm just because I don't
Yeah.
like unless you have like the height of like a basketball player where you can just extend your arm like and like push us back while you know it's like I doubt that will happen. So, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, so if it's normal fist fight, Timmy wins. If it's animal battle,
What is an animal battle? Like, do we also get involved in the fight, or
we each no. We just put our animals in a ring and we.
Oh, so it's like
watch.
Pokemon.
Like,
Yeah,
it's like
Pokemon battle.
Yeah. So,
Pokemon battle. Okay, let's take everyone's national animal of their country then. That makes it easier.
So
of just
kangaroo.
choosing an
bald eagle.
Oh, mine's a blue Oh no, mine's a springbok.
What the hell's a springbok?
Ooh. It's like a deer.
Oh,
or
okay,
antelope.
yeah.
Springbok. It's like a gazelle.
Okay, cool.
But cooler.
So
I reckon
so
honestly
probably the kangaroos.
no,
would
I
win
think
that.
the bald
Well,
eagle would win
kangaroos
because
have
like
a-
the bald eagle can come in and like chip at
yeah,
the
and they have
kangaroo,
like
and the
sharp
kangaroo can't do
talons.
anything.
Yeah,
The
it could like
kangaroo's got, but the kangaroo needs
So
like one strike at it and it's done.
Yeah, that if the kangaroo hits the bald eagle once, it's fucked. But like the bald eagle can do like dive bomb tactics. It can like fly
Yeah.
around.
yeah, as
things
long as
shoot
it's
at
like
it.
yeah.
above the head of a kangaroo, and then there's no way the
As
kangaroo
long as
can like
it
hit.
can kind.
But also,
Well, no, kangaroos
the
can jump really
springbok
high in
can
the air.
run for ages. I think it just comes down to America wins no matter
Yeah,
what.
because America wins everything. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Okay, that's that question.
moral of
but-
the story is USA, USA, USA. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I mean, kangaroos are kind of
Alrighty.
dumb anyway. I saw a video the other day of a guy just like blocking a kangaroo from like kicking him with like just his arm, and like it couldn't kick him physically.
I saw a video of like a kangaroo just running into a fence, like just straight.
Yeah,
into
yeah,
a
I
fence.
know the
Like,
one you're talking
it-
about.
yeah.
you guys should have made
but I
emus
don't
like
live
your
in my city,
national
actually.
animal, considering you went to war with it. I mean, it must have been a tough bird if you had to.
Yeah, and
had
we
to
lost.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
lost.
you,
Yeah.
you Australians, you guys say you're strong, and then you lost to a bunch of.
Yeah, you guys lost to a
no
bunch of,
ways
like,
winning.
Essentially, slightly more dangerous
To be
ostriches.
fair,
Essentially,
there
yeah.
was,
So,
like, there was like 60,000 of them, and like there was only like 20 guys with machine guns.
Yeah, that should be.
yeah.
Take
No,
out
no,
a
no,
bunch
you don't
of
understand.
birds.
Emus
It's
are like one of the fastest animals on the planet.
I
Like,
know.
faster than the speed
I
of
know.
bullets. So we couldn't hit any.
Who would win? The entire Australian army,
And also,
or
this is like
or a bunch of
this is like
chickens?
in like the 1930s. So we didn't have like the fast like Tesla cars we do now to shoot machine guns out of.
I think the emus would still win, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
we've got,
why.
like, God knows how many millions of kangaroos. So like,
That's why
I think
America
if
had
we
to
ever
save
went
your
to war,
ass in
then
the
we'd actually
Pacific
be
front.
fucked.
We had to save you in the Pacific front because it's like if
We
you can't
never
even.
My city has never even gotten attacked in any war ever.
No, but like you guys were
We're-
close to getting an invasion. It's like if we didn't do something, then like what?
True.
We're gonna leave it to the Australian army. They couldn't even beat a bunch of fucking emus. It's like how are you guys gonna beat an actual like military force? So yeah,
Yeah, like, are you guys even trained like in the military? Because like guns
Well,
in Australia are like a
the-
big
the,
no-no, like a
No
huge
civilian can
no-no.
get their hands on a gun unless they like. It's like a really, really complicated process. But I think if you're in the army,
Yeah.
you receive gun training. But like, you can't just go to a gun range in Australia. Like, we don't have any.
really. See, I was on the
I think
assumption
that
that you guys had like a big hunting like range or whatever because the Australian outback or whatever.
No,
or...
no.
Okay.
South
No.
Africa's big on its hunting and poaching.
Okay.
The government like took away all our guns like years ago.
Yeah.
Like, they melted them all down.
Which
You
is
can't get
honestly
any.
what America needs to fucking do right
Yeah,
now.
I,
Holy
I,
shit.
I genuinely want America to do that, but then I think some of the
It
people
will
who
piss off
own
like half your population.
half of the people will be so pissed off they would rather just lead a rebellion and shoot everyone instead of doing
Yeah.
the morally righteous thing. They would rather just shoot kids on the street instead of just not have a gun. What would you even need it for? Like I get that the world is a dangerous place, but do you really need like this massive AR-15 rifle to do that? Like
Well, the world wouldn't be as a dangerous place if someone else didn't have a gun to come make it a dangerous
Yeah.
place.
Yeah,
you
I
fucking
get-
dimwit.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, I need this gun to protect myself from other people with guns. Like, how about you just take away the guns?
Or
Think
how
about
about-
it like that.
Or invest in things
Yeah.
that could
At
actually
least
make
ban
society
automatic
better,
weapons, at
like
least.
social
Like,
programs,
you don't need
know.
like a fully armed automatic assault rifle to go like hunting deer. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
But you don't understand the Second Amendment. It gives me the right to do whatever I want, apparently. So, Yeah, man, we got super woke right there. We're very, very woke. So
Yeah.
Breaking the fourth wall,
shit,
guys. Next
we're
question,
gonna
quickly.
get accused of being we're gonna be called out by conservatives for being too woke. Anyway, okay, next question comes from my friend Joel, which is, describe your favorite movie in only 3 words. Fellowship of the Ring, my precious movie.
Rape, Beethoven.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah, no, that is. I was thinking of Perfect Blue for a second, and I was like, oh god. And then you said Beethoven, and I was like, oh wait.
Yeah, I mean, that also could be applied to Perfect Blue. Yeah, rape, dream.
I mean, yeah, there's
anime. Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but so yeah, Clockwork Orange, rape, Beethoven. Trying to think of a third one.
Ultraviolence.
No, that's 2 words. Milk. There we go. Yeah.
I can think of
milk.
I can think of 3 words that can describe at least like 50% of my favorite movies.
Which is?
Our Last Dance.
Oh, yeah.
Is that your favorite movie now? Like, ever?
It might be, honestly.
More Than Eternal Sunshine. Wow.
There's not been a day that has gone by that I have not thought of After Sun. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I still have,
because it's so recent, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed both of
stand
your
the
like
test of time,
favorite
that one.
films. Both of you guys have like changed your favorite films like a couple of times, and I'm just looking at mine. It's like, wow, I still haven't changed mine because I literally my feelings haven't changed whatsoever. I'm just more stubborn that way.
I think mine
I
is,
just
like,
do it for
solidified
fun
by now.
I just do it for fun.
Yeah.
Like, the top 4 on my letterbox. I don't even know if I could actually properly, genuinely pick a top 4. That's like too difficult. Like,
Yeah, that's why like I can't make like a top like those are my 4 favorites for sure. But it's like after that, it's like if you ask me to make like top 25 favorite movies ever, it's like I don't fucking know. It's like how am I
I
supposed
can
to know
name a
that?
top
Yeah.
2, and that's it. The rest are all up in the air. They're just fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
My first one will like always be my favorite, but like the other 3, like, they're pretty interchangeable, honestly.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to recommend the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That'll be a fun discussion. So
I will.
Yeah.
You are.
so
Yeah.
Got some other stuff though first.
yeah, so I guess that answered that
Should we
question.
do, one more question.
Let's make it quick. Let's make this the last one quick question. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is another one from Matthias. Are you familiar with YouTube poops? If so, what are some of your favorites? Are you guys familiar with YouTube?
I'm not
poops?
super
they
familiar.
exist.
I know they
I
exist
don't
as
watch
well.
them.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar. I've seen a couple in my life. I've seen the after I saw Spider-Man 2, I watched a couple of the YouTube poops with Spider-Man 2, so I guess those were kind of fun. But yeah, I'm not like an expert on them or anything.
I don't actually know what a proper definition of a YouTube poop is, because like, isn't like any short video that just has a bunch of random memes in it like a
Yeah, at this
YouTube
point,
poop?
is it any like
Yeah.
shit post just like a YouTube poop at this point?
Yeah,
Or-
exactly, right?
Well, I mean, there's like certain things that make like a YouTube poop, I think, like that differentiate them from like
educate us,
other
Jules.
shit posts.
Yeah, inform us, teach us. Yeah,
Listen, as a meme expert myself, no.
memeologist. Yeah.
Yeah, memeologist.
Okay.
As number one reporter at Meme Insider, I think a YouTube poop is like, it has to be kind of like of a certain style, like including a sound effect in this like one, or like making almost a story, mostly is how they're described, out of like this one thing or person. My personal favorites are of this. Are you guys aware of the YouTube channel Callum's Corner?
No.
That sounds familiar. I'll look that up. Yeah.
He made a quite a famous video where he was complaining about people comparing his head to a Tic Tac. And he gets a lot of YouTube poops made about him because he's very quotable, and he often reacts to them, and they're fucking great. So if anyone is looking for like new channels, I thoroughly recommend Callum's Corner.
I have one for South Africans. If anyone surprisingly is South African and they're listening to this, you have to watch Afrikaans Spider-Man. It is the funniest shit in the world. But if you don't understand the language, then you don't understand the video. So yeah, I have a special gatekeep video that only I understand, and it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I just looked up. Apparently, there's a bunch in
there's Afrikaans Harry Potter, there's
Fast and
Afrikaans.
Furious, yeah, Avengers, yeah, SpongeBob, Lion King, yeah. So.
Yeah, but none of them is more funny than Afrikaans Spider-Man.
I really love how Spider-Man has become a meme. I think that's like the best thing to happen from those movies. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
The one that I just put in the chat, I think, is one of my favorites ever.
Is this...
It's just of a kid, just kind of like just recording shit on his computer and like just putting random ass like assets that he has like on it. It's like, it's very funny, but also kind of endearing and honestly kind of adorable.
I feel like this is one of those, and I feel so old in the sense that like it feels like one of those moments where like a young kid explains to me new shit, and I just sit there and go, okay, like now I know how my dad feels every time I try to explain him new shit.
Now I know how your brain works.
Yeah, so
it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it's so. Yeah, well, I guess we answered that question. So.
Yeah, that one's a masterpiece as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's 4 seconds long. I promise it's worth it.
Okay, I'll watch it after this. We're done. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right.
That's the end of that. Yeah.
Questions.
Yeah. Questions are done.
Okay.
So it's now Luca's turn. So what are we watching next time?
Before
Luca's turn to
my
recommend.
recommendation, I just want to say something.
Sure.
Is that we were doing we planned to do a theme for next episode, and the theme was like a random actor. We all got assigned a random actors, and we were going to pick a movie with those actors. But I kind of want to do a respin. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like
I honestly do not.
I feel like none
I
of
hate
us were really happy with the people that we got.
Yeah,
So,
I really.
I mean, I had one picked out, but I wanted to.
Yeah, I also had
I'm
one picked
thinking
out, but
while we're live
yeah.
on the video, we can do a respin.
Well, give us your
Okay.
recommendation first, and then we can do that. We can do the spin afterwards.
Okay, should
Yeah.
I do the recommendation first?
Yeah,
Okay,
just do the
let's-
recommend. Wait,
go
unless
for a
like,
second.
wait, are you starting the theme? I thought you were doing your free.
This
Yeah.
this is for next episode.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the next episode's recommendation. But my
Okay.
film is a film called Alice from 1988.
Alice.
I do not know
19.
anything about this movie. I just saw like a short clip, and I was like, that looks fucking crazy, and I want to watch it. So yeah, that's
Wow, I've
this is
never heard of
all-
this.
Yeah, I had never heard about
yeah,
the film
neither
as
have I.
well. But it looks
what
like
is it?
something.
This looks like because like
A film made for children, perhaps.
yeah, clearly. Yeah, because I saw a doll and I was like, oh god, I already like don't like this already. So, a quiet young English girl named Alice finds herself in an alternate version. Okay, so this is like a Alice in Wonderland type shit. Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Yeah, this is kind of this is an interesting pick. Yeah.
Just a random movie that I
Yeah.
found, and I was like, I want to watch this. So
Why not?
Let's see how it goes. Yeah.
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 I don't know
so
anything about this, so this will definitely
Alice
I think
from 1988.
yeah.
Directed by Jean Scamaja. I don't know. Fuck.
That Savant
some
Major?
Czech name.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
Czech
'cause
dude.
We'll figure out how to pronounce it by the next episode. Yeah. So
Yeah.
cool.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
if you don't
that's
want to
what
be
I'm
spoiled for that, watch it before we talk about it next episode. So cool. So do you want to do the live
Yeah.
spin now, or just or
Yeah,
wait, are
I'm
we
gonna do
recording
the
that?
live
Or?
spin right now? No, let's
Okay.
do it on episode. The people can
On
hear
episode.
our live reactions to the actors that we get. So who's recommending next? Is it
It's me, I think.
No, it's
next.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Timothy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Timothy.
okay?
Yeah.
Let me. I also found a way better celebrity generator than last time. we did
Okay.
this.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because I just want to
So
state
that
up
last
front
was
that I got
stuff
stuck
as
with
fuck.
Julia Roberts, and I was like, oh god, I don't want to like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
I don't even remember who
I got stuck with,
I got some random.
You got Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some random dude I didn't even know. I was like, I don't want this.
I got.
I mean,
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, I feel like by getting Steve Martin, that would have been a decent excuse to recommend Little Shop of Horrors, because I've never seen it, but apparently it's like a classic
I
or
was thinking
something.
of that, and I have seen it before though, so I was like, man.
Okay.
Okay. Timmy's spin. Let's.
All right, let's do this.
Go.
Do I wait? Hold on. Before I okay. All right. I don't know who this is. Like, come on.
Yeah,
like, how many?
We can do a couple of spins. That's right.
Okay,
But what were
yeah.
you saying?
Okay.
No, I was just gonna ask how does it
Let's
work?
say you can only. Yeah.
Okay.
Should we have any number of like skips you can do?
Yeah. Like, how many?
Okay. Let's say we can do three. We can do three skips.
Three
Can we go
skips.
back to one that we skipped,
Okay.
or are we just stuck with whoever we get? So
Let's say you can choose from the three that.
Okay,
You get. But
cool.
this dude isn't even an
Okay.
actor. So
yeah,
it
I don't know
doesn't
who that
count.
is.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay. Well.
I don't know
Okay.
who.
That's not an actor.
Can we get real
Whoop.
actors?
Not an actor.
That's not
Whoop.
an act. That's Rolf Waldo
Oh,
Emerson.
okay. Your first pick.
Matthew
Matthew
Morris. I don't know who
Morrison.
that is.
Matthew Morrison. Mr. Rando.
Well, I'm gonna put him in the
Who is
chat.
Are you sure this is like a legit thing? Because it just seems like we're just picking random people like who have existed.
There
in
are
general.
an actor. Look, Lee Grin. Oh, okay. This person's
The
more of a
Grinch.
TV show actor, so we can not
Oh,
count
so-
this. Okay.
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 Next. Next.
TV.
Cat
Next.
Steve.
Okay. Elizabeth.
Okay,
Moss.
Elizabeth
There's your
Moss.
first-
There's
Elizabeth
one.
Moss.
Okay.
There's your first proper.
As an
I
actual
recognize
actor.
who that
Yeah, the
is.
first one.
Okay.
Okay. So that's your first choice.
Okay.
Okay.
John Lennon.
John.
Yeah, he's an
Yeah.
actor.
Well, technically he is because he was in all those Beatles movies, right? Ewan
okay,
McGregor.
that's your
There's my second
one.
one.
Ewan
Okay.
McGregor.
Okay, that's your second choice. Bam. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was Gary
I
Oldman.
was like,
Gary
why?
Coleman.
It's
Gary Coleman.
Okay. Bam. Bam. Bam.
Andy Warhol.
Sorry,
Yeah, Andy
sorry. I
Warhol.
just have to randomize it till I actually.
Edward
get an actor,
Snowden.
because these-
Edward Snowden. I mean, technically, Citizen 4.
What?
Oh wait, Jim.
Oh, the community guy.
Oh wait, but he's not like an actor. Yeah,
Oh.
okay. I'll get stuck
this
with Rainn
guy's an
Wilson.
actor, Rainn
Okay, I'll get
Wilson.
stuck with Rainn Wilson. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay. So now you have a choice between Elizabeth Moss, Ewan McGregor, and Ray Wilson.
Oh,
Pick your poison.
what a varied list.
This is.
Yeah.
See, I'm tempted to pick Ewan McGregor purely because it gives me an excuse to
Well, don't say it.
well,
don't
no,
say
I'm
it.
not. I'm
Don't
probably
say
not going to. So because here's the thing, because I've never seen Train Spotting, and it probably gives me an excuse to recommend Train Spotting.
Oh,
But-
shit.
it. Fuck yeah.
Because yeah, I've
Really?
never seen Train Spotting, and I want to watch Train Spotting. What else has Ewan McGregor done? A bunch of other shit.
I have it on my
Yeah.
screen right now.
Oh, Velvet Goldmine.
Big Fish, The Impossible, Velvet
Yeah.
Goldmine.
Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, a lot
Shallow
of good
Grave.
stuff.
Yeah, there's a bunch
Mordecai.
with Ewan McGregor. Yeah.
I remember that one. So, but you know what? In spite of the fact that I do really, really want to talk about Train Spotting, I'm actually going to not pick Ewan McGregor. I'm going to pick Rainn Wilson.
No.
Oh wow!
Because there is a specific-
Okay.
Does that mean we're gonna
No,
talk
you'll
about
know.
the Meg?
You'll see which one I recommend. Because there's a movie that I've been thinking about. Don't look this up. Don't look this up.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
There's a
I'm not
movie
gonna
with
look at
Rainn
it.
Wilson that I've been meaning to rewatch for a long while anyway, and I didn't think I was gonna like ever recommend it, but now that I'm stuck with Rainn Wilson, I was like, okay, I might as well just recommend it then. So so yeah, that's my pick. I'll pick Rainn Wilson.
Alrighty.
Is it Juno?
So
Okay. Okay. Then it's you, Jules. So I'm gonna go through your
Alright.
salaries. What?
Wait, hang on, let me full screen.
Okay, nope.
John Cleese.
That's
Okay,
not
there's
John
one.
Cleese is your
Yeah.
first
John Cleese,
one.
the guy from Monty Python.
Okay.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Love to go with that. Alright, what else we got?
You got boop 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 boop. Just going through this.
That's an
celebrity
actor. Oh, Will Poulter. Yeah, there you
generator.
go.
Will Poulter.
Fuck. Will Poulter.
Yeah.
It was
Mhm.
Will Poulter. Okay. Well, okay. This one doesn't count. Will
Yeah, that's not enough.
Poulter. Okay.
Ooh, that's actually
And your final person is Joey Lawrence. Who is this guy? Okay.
That's not an actor.
Okay.
Paul Rubens. That's technically an actor. You're stuck. Yeah, that's an
No.
Paul
actor.
Rubens. Yeah.
That's-
yeah,
that's-
yeah, that-
no,
Yeah, that's
No,
one of your
that's one of your
choices.
choices.
Technically, that's my Rainn Wilson. Yeah. So.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I know who I'm going with
Okay.
there.
Who are you going
Let
with?
me wait. Let me just
Cleese.
consult. See what John Cleese.
Yeah, you
is
could
in.
recommend one of the Monty Python films if you really want to. So.
Yeah, don't spoil two
Oh, I
things.
could-
Let's actually not go.
Yeah,
look up
let's not
who
do
these
that,
actors
yeah.
have been in, just so we
Mhm.
don't spoil the recommendations for each.
Okay, I think. Wait, hang on. Give me
Yeah,
a
check-
second.
check
I'll
your-
Yeah. In the
Second
meantime,
round.
Luca, can you do yours? Because I actually need to head out in a bit. So.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll do mine soon. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Ba-ba-da-ba.
Oh,
Okay, I have Stacy.
I don't know who that
Kilmer?
is. Yeah.
I don't know who this is.
yeah, just
I'll put it in just because
Mhm.
we need to hurry.
William Shakespeare.
William Shakespeare. Wes Anderson! Of course, I get randomized to Wes Anderson. but
He's not an
even-
actor.
He's not even an actor. Damn, if this was random directors. Oh my goodness. I don't know who this is. I'm just gonna carry on. I don't know who this is either.
Paul Bettany. That's an actor.
Oh,
yeah. So.
Paul Bettany.
Paul
One of the
Bettany,
Marvel
yeah.
movies you could recommend.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And my final thing. I don't know who that is. It says game shows, so I
That's an
don't
actor
know.
as well. Juno Temple. Yeah.
Fuck. Why did I get shit ones? Do you know,
I know
who these
Juno
people
Temple
are?
was in
No.
fucking what's it called? Ted Lasso. Yeah, I know she's in that. So.
Okay, I'm gonna skip until I find someone that is
Charles
decently
Manson.
known.
Charles Manson.
Josh Brolin. There's one.
Okay,
Yeah,
Josh
yeah,
Brolin.
so-
Oh,
Yeah,
Josh
you go.
Brolin.
Okay, there's my
Paul
three
Bettany,
people,
Juno
I
Temple,
guess.
and Josh Brolin. Okay, solid.
Yeah. Okay. I guess me and Jules can reveal ours
Yeah,
in a later
and I picked-
time because
Okay.
No, I'll reveal mine now.
Oh, you will?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna
nice.
do Will Poulter
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
because
Um,
this guy's been in some
Yeah.
absolute.
And Luca, if you want to pick
bangers.
yours now, I guess you want to pick Josh Brolin, right?
Let me look at some of. Oh, okay. Wait, no. Juno Temple.
shit,
Actually,
okay.
has some stuff. Oh wait,
Oh,
fuck!
one of-
I'm
one
still
of the things
streaming. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oops.
So.
Okay, let me look
Okay.
through this.
Either way, I have to head out now, so let's just you guys can figure that out later. So yeah. So anyway, thank you
Okay.
everyone. Bye.
Okay,
Yeah.
cheerio, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye.